How should Bernie Sanders proceed forward in this primary? I want to get to that. Michigan is next week. Missouri is next week. And I see Bernie already starting to do this. He needs to hammer Biden on trade and Social Security every day. Every day. Force the media to talk about that. Because Biden record on Social Security, on trade, is terrible. And I think that will work particularly well in a state like Michigan. Current polls have Biden up in Michigan, unfortunately, but I have a little bit of hope because in 2016, the polls had Hillary Clinton way ahead of Bernie Sanders in the primary, but Bernie ended up winning Michigan by a point. And I think what helped them was when they had that debate, Bernie hammering Hillary on trade. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a debate before the Michigan primary, so he can't do that. So you're going to have to do as you can do. Get on these Sunday shows, force the mainstream media to talk about it. Do local interviews. Go to the local radio stations in, Detroit. Go to St. Louis, Kansas City. You know, go to Flint. Go to all over Lansing. Go to local markets there. Do some interviews with local media there. Have your rallies. You know, um, of course, I already know you have a ground game, but force the media to talk about it. You got to penetrate it. Penetrate these talking points because right now a lot of people are trying to crown Biden. Like I said, he is the front runner, but he have a lot of weaknesses, and those two weaknesses that could be exploited. That's what he need to do going forward. He should have been more aggressive this whole time. You can't go back, but him and Elizabeth Warren should have been more aggressive from the beginning. Let way too much stuff slide. Way too much slide. He been way too nice to Biden. And, it was just a perfect storm. It was a great move by the establishment to have all these candidates like Buttigieg, Klobuchar drop out at once and endorse Biden, and then getting Beto O'Rourke to endorse him. It changed the outlook of this election. Can't cry about it. You just gotta, you just gotta move forward, and you gotta change your strategy. Thankfully, I am seeing a little bit of a change of the strategy. And one of the other things you're gonna have to do, this is why you gotta hit Social Security so hard. You're getting killed with older voters. I did a video. My last video was about how you're struggling with the black vote. You're struggling with older people in general, 65 and up. I know that's a difficult crowd because they tend to be more conservative, but you don't have to win that demographic, but you gotta do better. You gotta do better. You can't be losing the black vote like 62 to like 20 something, or 62 or 63% to 18%, and being single digits among 65 and up age demographic. You're not gonna win like that. You know, um, Especially unfortunately, younger voters don't come out in the numbers that we should. You know, um, I'm not in the 18 to 29 category. Those are the hardest ones to get, but I'm still in my mid 30s, and a lot of people in their 30s don't vote either. The older vote is the most reliable vote, and that's unfortunate. You have to do better with that, and you have to make a few adjustments to get younger people to come out. Your platform is great. You got a good young platform, but something is happening where young people is not coming out in the numbers that you would have hoped. Whatever the changes you have to do in your campaign to make that happen, you know, you gotta do it. I know it's easy. I know it's harder than that. It's not as easy as I'm putting it, but you gotta make that change, brother. You definitely do. I gave you a little bit of advice about how they gauge black people as a whole and the black youth as well. But you have to make sure your youth support is coming out in these states. But we'll see. It's not over yet. There's still some primaries left, and I know it felt over last night, especially when Biden won excuse me, when he won Massachusetts and he won Minnesota. But after having a few hours to cool down, it's like no, there's still a lot of states left, and we still getting votes for California. The mainstream media narrative is going to be hard to crack, but it can be done. It can be done. You just got to keep plugging away and don't be scared to change strategies. So, subscribe to the channel, share, click that notification bell. Peace.